Minecraft's newest update 1.21.6 added 2 new achievements, and they're both kind of mid. One of them is you just have to place water on a dried ghast, which I guess makes sense. And the other one just requires you to place a creaking heart in the middle of a tree, which this stuff wasn't even added in this update. And that got me thinking about other advancements in this game. And these advancements could be anything as simple as picking up a piece of stone to eating every single piece of food in the entire game. So that got me thinking, how would I rate these achievements? I mean, honestly, think about it. Some of them are obviously a lot better than others, and so I decided that I was going to rank them all. But how? So I have 4 categories that I decided to rate all of the advancements on, starting with creativity. Now, this is important when it comes to making an achievement, okay? You want it to be not only a creative idea for the advancement, but also a fun name helps too, so that's definitely going to go into the rating. Number 2 is fun, okay? Obviously, you want your advancements to be a little bit fun, right? You don't want it to be boring, you don't want it to be annoying, you don't want it to be tedious, you want it to be something that's fun, entertaining, it's going to be worth getting in multiple different worlds. Number 3 is difficulty, and this one's a little different. You might think, oh, well, if it's super hard, it's going to get a high rating. No. See, if it's too easy, it's getting a low rating, but also if it's too hard, the rating will go down as well. I want an advancement that feels like a challenge, but isn't going to take me 17 years to do, and I might fail it 30 times. Yeah, so it's kind of a weird balance, but you'll figure it out as we go. And finally, we have helpfulness. The reason they're called advancements is because they're advancing you through the game. So how well are they actually doing that? Well, that's what this rating is for. Does this advancement help you in the game as far as beating the game, or does it help you figure out how things in the game work? If it does, great, it's getting a high score. If it doesn't, useless. So yeah, that's the basis I'm going to be rating all of these achievements on. Also, I keep calling them achievements. Whoops, I'm probably going to do that a bunch throughout the video. Ignore me. And I also should mention I'm not doing root advancements because those would all be the lowest rated ones anyway, and they're not fun. So we're only doing the main 119 and the most recent update. And these first few are probably going to go fast, so get listening. So without much further ado, let's begin ranking every single advancement in Minecraft, starting with 119, Stone Age. Obtain a piece of cobblestone. Wow, I can't believe it. You managed to do the one thing the game told you to do. Here's a sticker. That's pretty much what this advancement says. Same goes for 118, getting an upgrade, craft a stone pickaxe. Yet another advancement that's nothing more than a participation trophy. But hey, you probably expected these to be the lowest on the list, but one that you might not have seen coming is 117, hot stuff, obtain a bucket of lava. Honestly, I didn't think this would be that low, but when you think about it, it makes sense. I mean, it's not that creative an idea. All you're doing is filling a bucket with lava, and that's not exactly fun or difficult. I mean, it's not fun to right click, and it's not hard to get 3 iron. And I was going to give it points for leading players in the direction of making a nether portal, but let's face it, if you're relying on the advancements to get your way through the game, you're not going to be just using a bucket to make a portal, so my point still stands, and helpfulness stays at 1. 116, sweet dreams, sleep in a bed. Guys, you won't believe it. Another advancement where all you do is right click? No way! But I guess it teaches you to sleep in order to skip the night and get rid of mobs, so whatever, it gets a pass on that, but nothing else. 115, a seedy place, plant any crop. Look, I'm not going to go on this long rant as to why this advancement is bad. I think that it speaks for itself. Number 114, take aim, shoot any mob with a bow. This advancement actually takes some skill. Unfortunately, that's not enough to save it from being quite mediocre. Bonus points if you get it while doing a 360 though. 113, acquire hardware, attain an iron ingot. Congratulations, this advancement is somewhat helpful. But can you tell me what's so fun about just waiting for a raw piece of iron to smelt so slowly? Yeah, that's what I thought. It'd probably be more fun to get 112, who is cutting onions, obtain a piece of crying obsidian. Fun fact, this advancement is so forgettable that I actually forgot to film it while I was getting footage for this video, so here's the very professionally done creative footage that I got for it instead. Maybe it would have been more fun to wait for the furnace. Nah. 111, suit up, wear a piece of iron armor. Well, I mean, you don't have to wear it, you just have to have it in your inventory, but who cares? Because there used to be one called Iron Man that you got for wearing a full set of iron. Knowing this, I can't in good conscience put this any higher on the list of advancements. I'm sorry, but I don't really feel bad. Any injustice like this could never make me feel shame. 110, a terrible fortress, enter a nether fortress. And thus begins the theme of advancements that really do nothing other than A, confirming you're in the right place, and B, serving as no more than a pat on the back. Oh yeah, good job, buddy. You really did it. Disgusting. 109, Monster Hunter. Kill any hostile mob. Nothing more to say here other than that I think it's kind of funny that you can get this advancement from killing the dragon. Like, that counts. You can get Monster Hunter by killing the Ender Dragon. Really makes you think if you could actually do that in a real run. Nah, who cares? That's an idea for another day. Next, 108. We need to go deeper. Enter the Nether. Yes, this is ranked higher than entering a fortress, but that's honestly only because I think it's a bit more pivotal of a moment than just happening to stumble across a fortress. There's intention behind this advancement, and that's powerful. Anyway, it's boring because it's just a participation award. 107. Isn't it Iron Pick? Obtain an Iron Pickaxe. Pretty sure this is supposed to be pronounced isn't it iron pick, so it sounds like isn't it ironic, but us Americans in our dirty basic accent mess that up. And that definitely leads people to not get the joke, myself included. I only just recently actually got it. Wake up, people. The future is now. 106. Is it a bird? Look at a parrot through a spyglass. The sisters to this advancement will come later, but this one's the lowest because it involves the least danger. I don't know. But rest assured, they are all very boring. Still a fun idea, though. I'll give it that. 105. The power of books. Connect a comparator to a chiseled bookshelf. Yeah, you don't even need to power it to get the advancement, as it turns out, and you can even see in the footage that I didn't expect that to be the case, so that's fun. And while this is a helpful and creative way to teach players about chiseled bookshelves, why though? Number 104, War Pigs, loot a chest and a bastion. Yeah, go on, do it. There's probably some really good stuff in there. Plus, I mean, how would you ever know if you never look? Come on, do it. Do it. Do it! Sorry, this one's boring because it's just a right click. Next! 103, Old Betsy, fire a crossbow. Odds are that you probably got this from the bastion chest you just looted, and by the looks of the footage, that seems to be the case. See, I told you there was good stuff in that chest. Just make sure you don't touch my gold. 102, the next generation. Pick up the dragon egg. I was gonna make a joke about forgetting to bring torches, but the inn fountain spawns some for you, probably for that exact reason. Man, you guys are no fun. 101, what a deal. Make a trade with a villager.
That's one small step for my economy. One giant leap for my borderline inhumane villager trading hall with mass inbreeding.
This is a kid's game, by the way. Number 100, wax on, apply honey to a copper block, and 99, wax off, remove honey from a copper block using an axe. These really can be interchangeable, but I like using my axe to get rid of the honey, because I'm 7, so it gets the better placement in my eyes. 98, is it a balloon? Look at a gas through a spyglass. See, I told you it would come back later. Though, like I said, the only real difference here is that it's slightly more dangerous, so there's not much else here that stands out over the other one. 97, voluntary exile, kill a raid captain. The best part about this advancement is that 99% of the time you just end up getting it because you're trying to defend your own property from random raiders showing up, and the captain just happens to be in the crossfire. 96, planting the past. Plant a seed found by a sniffer. Aww, look at that pretty little flower. Okay, I'm bored now. 95, Ice Bucket Challenge. Obtain a piece of obsidian. You'll be lucky if you get this from a chest or piglin trading. Otherwise, you're just going to have to sit there and mine for a long time. And for what? The Nether? Doesn't sound very worth it to me. Oh, wait. 94, Local Brewery. Obtain a potion from a brewing stand. If you ever catch me getting this advancement anywhere other than the inn ship or an igloo, I want you to shoot me. 93, is it a plane? Look at the Ender Dragon through a spyglass. And here we have the final spyglass advancement, simply higher than the others for the slight added difficulty. Embarrassingly enough, I forgot to get this one on the initial fight, so I had to do it when I respawned the dragon, but it works the same. Doesn't matter. 92, remote getaway. Use an end gateway. You technically don't need to use a pearl to do this. You can easily just swim or crawl into it, but the pearl is honestly the easiest and safest option. Plus, that's what the icon for the advancement is, and who would I be to disobey the game itself? 91, cover me with diamonds. Obtain a piece of diamond armor. I found so many diamonds in this first cave and so little iron that by the time I did find enough iron for some armor, I already had enough for full diamond armor, so I just made boots so I could get the suit up advancement first so it would make more sense for the video, and then made my diamond armor. 90, careful restoration. Craft a pot using 4 pottery shards. Not sure if they have to be unique shards, but better safe than sorry. Also, yes, obligatory. Yeah, it's shards, not shards. I'm right, you're wrong, tangent. Stupid name. 81, 89, best friends forever, tame an animal. Unfortunately, there were no dogs near my spawn, so I just had to use one of the village cats. I just don't like how they constantly run away from me as if I'm not shoving their favorite food in their face. Just love me already. 88, Sound of Music, play a music disc in a meadow biome. Haha, very funny reference, but there is literally 0 point to this advancement. And do you know how long it took me to find a meadow? Unacceptable. 87, those were the days. Enter a Bastion remnant. You know, back in my day, we didn't have all these fancy piglins or elytra flying doohickeys. Back when the game was good, you know. That's what all those nostalgia baiters sound like, by the way. 86, fishy business, reel in a fish. You can actually just throw a fish on the ground and reel that in for the advancement, which I think is funnier than doing it the intended way, and that's why it's as high up as it is. Also, this video is making me realize how much cheese some of these advancements have. Like, you'll see way worse later. 85, smells interesting, obtain a sniffer egg. According to this advancement's name, sniffers are canonically smelly. This might truly be the reason why no one likes them. Well, that and they're useless, but you know, who's counting? 84, crafting a new look, use an armor trim. Armor trims are cool and all, but like, when are we going to talk about the political and economic state of the world right now? 83, not today, thank you. Block a projectile with a shield. Honestly, I just think shields are underutilized these days. Like, they're kind of OP. They can block an entire creeper blast head on, and they give skeletons a taste of their own medicine, so that works for me because anything against skeletons is a win in my book. 82, Surge Protector. Protect a villager from a lightning strike. Okay, this one is kind of dumb because all it requires is that a lightning strike happens near a villager without hitting it, and that no fire is created from it. So you can just accidentally get this if that happens randomly near a village, or in my case, you end up getting it while going for the other advancement involving lightning and villagers, and now you have to re-record it in a creative world. Hypothetically, of course. 81, Little Sniffs, feed a baby sniffer. Oh, look at the little baby, how cute! He's gonna be so hideous when he grows up. Not to mention smelly. 80, birthday song. Have an allay drop a cake on a note block. I guess I just didn't know how allays worked going into this because I wasn't aware that I needed 2 cakes for it to actually work, so I spent an embarrassing amount of time on this otherwise simple advancement. And then I proceeded to delete the footage in shame. And now I have a personal vendetta against allays even though it was completely my fault. Stupid mob! 79, heart transplanter. Plant a creaking heart between 2 pale logs. See, like I said in the intro, very, very mid. And I'm still confused why this was added in the Happy Ghast update. Like, I don't get it, but whatever. 78, Sheer Brilliance. Trim off dog armor using shears. Fun fact, this advancement was actually renamed, and it's actually quite sad because the first name was so much better. It used to be called Snippet, and come on, that's way funnier. Petition to get the name changed back. If we can get rid of the mob boat, we can get this too. 77, Lighten Up. Scraper copper bulb. Yes, I'm using the same footage that I used for Wax Off. Yes, I'm too lazy to re-record it. Yes, I'm mad that it had to be this way. No, I'm not apologizing. Whew. I think that should off all my bases covered. 76, stay hydrated. Place water on a dried ghast. Woo! Yeah, that's a good one, all right. Yeah, let's go. Anyway, did you guys know that you can actually craft dried ghasts? Which means that, yes, we can now craft sentient life in Minecraft. How cool! 75, cover me in debris. Obtain full netherite armor. Honestly, I'm not quite sure how this one ended up being ranked so low, but I guess at the end of the day, the actual armor you get out of this is a little more important than the stupid little advancement you get. And most players of the long-term world are going to end up getting this anyway, so I guess it kind of makes sense. I just think it's kind of funny how it's lower than 74. Diamonds. Pick up a diamond. Let's be real. This advancement is iconic, and it always feels nice to get that first diamond in your survival world, so it definitely deserves to be up here. Though it's always a little disappointing when you get a 1 vein. 73. How did we get here? Have every effect in the game applied at once. Yep, you heard that right. The most well-known and difficult advancement in the game isn't even in the top 50%. First of all, to address the elephant in the room, yes, I did manually type in a command for each effect, but just disregard that. At the end of the day, this is one of the most creative advancements out there. But it's not fun to drag a shulker from the end. It's not fun to lure a ward into your setup without dying. And it's not fun to be terrified that you might fail and have all the setup time wasted. And like I said in the beginning, being too difficult is also a bad thing, as being not difficult enough. 99% of players will likely never even come close to getting this advancement. And finally, if you can manage to find a spot in the game where having all effects in the game applied at once is helpful, I'll give you $1 million. 72, the end. Again, respawn the Ender Dragon. Considering that you need to kill ghasts to get the tears to make the end crystals that are required to respawn the dragon, I think you can see why it's so high up. I mean, the act itself is nothing short of a snooze fest, but I can always stand behind killing more ghasts. 71. Oh shiny. Distract a piglin with gold. It definitely should be ooh shiny, but whatever. Once again, the pig's greatest downfall is their insatiable hunger for materialistic wealth. Such a shame. How could they fall so far? Just kidding, this is totally expected behavior. 70. You need a mint. Collect the dragon's breath in a bottle. All Advancements runners hate to see this one coming. Also, apparently the dragon smells bad too, so good to know, I'll add it to the list. 69. Isn't it cute? Brush an armadillo. See, that's fun and all, but isn't it a little bit ridiculous that you can only brush them 4 times before the brush breaks? Talk about a ripoff. 68. Zombie Doctor. Revive a zombie villager. And now you can gaslight them into giving you better deals because you saved him. Now that's a ripoff. Business 101, baby. 67. Respecting the remnant. Brush a pottery shirt out of a suspicious block. He said sus. That's so funny. Yeah, I have nothing more to say for this one. 66. The cutest predator. Catch an axolotl in a bucket.
I can't believe that the color of the axolotl in the bucket doesn't line up with the one I caught. Unplayable. Fix your game, Mojang.
Aww. 65. Bucket. Catch a tadpole in a bucket. Starting to notice a theme with these advancements, Mojang. Watch, in the next update, there's going to be an advancement for catching the ender dragon in a bucket. Wouldn't even surprise me. 64. Glow and behold. Use a glow ink sac to light up a sign. In other words, use the corpse of a most likely suicidal squid to make your stupidity look prettier. Is it really worth it, guys? Is it? 63. Enchanter. Enchant an item. It's always really fun to get that first enchantment, even though it's almost always complete garbage. But it's not about the destination. It's about the journey. I want efficiency 4, damn it! 62. Under lock and key. Open a regular vault. Finally, advancements more my speed. It's gambling time, baby. Let's go. All on red and oh, I got 2 poison arrows and a honey bottle. I just bet my house on this one. 61. Sky's the limit. Obtain an elytra. Okay, I think this one actually makes sense to be ranked around the middle. It's not super helpful as an advancement, but it feels nice to get it after all the hard work that went towards getting the elytra. And it's just a nice little reward to go along. 60. Hidden in the depths. Obtain ancient debris. Why is getting full netherite apparently worse than just getting 1 debris? I think we can officially see how arbitrary and stupid my rankings are. Well, I'm too lazy to fix it anyway, so let's just pretend it makes sense and move on, shall we? 59. The parrots and the bats. Tame any 2 animals. Finally, we're getting into the second and better half of the list, and unfortunately it starts out with a pretty mid one. Don't get me wrong, the name is cool, but other than that, it's nothing special. 58. Good as new. Repair dog armor with armadillo scoots. I'm sorry, little one. Look, the violence was optional, but I ain't about to wait for this advancement, okay? Plus, I'd argue intentionally putting my dog in danger of other mobs is more abusive than just hitting it myself. Okay, no, wait, that sounds bad. 57. Minecraft Trials Edition. Enter a trial chamber. Honestly, one of the best named advancements on the list so far. Too bad the advancement itself is boring and stupid. 56. Serious dedication. Upgrade a diamond hoe to netherite. Luckily, they didn't make you have to break the hoe for this advancement. Because boy do I remember when they did. 55. Uneasy Alliance. Kill a ghast in the overworld. Correction, only the player has to be in the overworld, not the ghast. And fun fact, did you know that they recently made it to where you can shoot projectiles through portals? Yeah, and they want us to build a 20-block tall portal. No thanks. It was hard enough and creative. 54. A throwaway joke. Throw a trident at a mob. Boom, baby! Get dunked on. Sucks to suck. And that's why your mama left you, boy. Get absolutely destroyed. 53. The city at the end of the game. Enter an end city. Very funny name, game. No, really, it's pretty funny. No, seriously, it's so funny. Can I go now? 52. Post-mortal. Activate a totem of undying. Honestly, the most fun part of this advancement is finding the most brutal way to die. Just don't look down! 51. Not quite 9 lives. Fully charge a respawn anchor in the nether. Didn't really know how these things worked for a long time, so it's great to see how far I've come. I mean, just a few months ago and I would have been hiding behind a wall because I thought it would explode. No, silly. It only explodes and in the end. Man, these comedic explosions sure are well timed. I said, these comedic explosions. These are the kind of stupid jokes that happen when I'm 10 pages into their script. And I'm only half done. 50, hired help. Summon an iron golem. See, this guy's lucky. All those natural guys are being quickly incinerated in my 10,000 iron an hour iron farm. So go, like, kill a zombie to celebrate. I don't know. I'm new to this whole parenthood thing. 49, a complete catalog. Tame every cat variant. Wow, it is so much easier when you just spawn them all in with commands and trap them in a cage. Who'd thunk? Also, I see what you did with the name there, Mojang. I like it. I like it. 48, feels like home. Ride a strider for 50 blocks in the overworld. Again, what is it with Mojang and taking mobs out of their natural habitat and killing them? Well, I know killing the strider wasn't a requirement, but better safe than sorry. 47, I spy. Enter the stronghold. There's just something about digging so far down that you think you missed it and then finally stumble across it at last. Oh, and diamonds right as you make it always helps too. Good luck finding that portal room, because when you do, you might just get 46, the end. Enter the end. The end is the end of the ending of this game, because all games with endings must come to an end at the end where the end is. And here the end is the end. But in the end is really the end-all be-all of endings, which is why this advancement is so high up. Too bad it couldn't make it to the end of the list. And let's hope you'll go on to 45, free the end, kill the ender dragon. I wonder how many times I can say end before the viewer retention rate drops to 0. If you're watching right now, type epic in the comments. 44, this boat has legs. Ride a strider with a warped fungus on a stick. And just so everyone knows, you don't have to kill it to get this advancement. But I did want that saddle back. 43, hot tourist destinations. Visit every biome in the nether. All this advancement did was make me realize that there's only 5 nether biomes, which is crazy. I could have sworn for some reason that there were like way more, like 6 biomes. 42, bring home the beacon. Activate a beacon. I got this one totally legit, by the way. Diamond blocks and all. We rich like that. 41, sticky situation. Slide down the side of a honey block. Okay, but why is this one so hard? It took me like 10 minutes of attempts just to get this one. And for what? What's the practicality of this advancement, huh? Nothing. That's what. Worthless piece of garbage. 40, who's the pillager now? Kill a pillager with a crossbow. Hey, all's fair in war. And I like to see these freaks suffer. Too much? 39. Country load, take me home. Use a compass on a lodestone. Apologies, this advancement has been removed due to copyright. Also, I don't want to embarrass myself trying to sing, so... 38. Into fire. Obtain a blaze rod. What? It's an important advancement, and I happen to like it, thank you very much. So I will not be budging on its placement. Why did I do the rankings like this, man? This one sucks. Why is it so high up? 37. Tactical fishing. Catch a fish in a bucket. See, now that's how a real man does it. You other fellas got soft hands, brother. I tell you what. That's the real problem with this generation, you know? Sorry, what are we doing? Oh, right, advancements, right. This one is really great because it not only teaches the player that it's an option to catch a fish, but boy can it be a lot of fun to go and catch those guppies. Overall, much better than its real fishing counterpart. Nailed it. 36, be our guest. Get honey from a bee's nest without angering them. Not sure why a campfire would suddenly make them not care about me stealing their honey, but the bees are big and scary, so I'll do whatever it takes, man. Just make sure it works. 35, you've got a friend in me. Have an allay deliver an item to you. It's only higher up than the other allay one because the name is better, and I don't need to craft 2 cakes. So really, it's a win-win, even if the allays are still stupid. Also, copyright infringement is so fun. 34, total bee location. Move a beehive with 3 or more bees inside. Okay, 2 questions. Number 1, how can all of those bees fit in there in the first place, given that 1 bee is almost an entire block itself? And 2, how can they then proceed to fit when the hive gets even smaller as an item? Like, can this advancement be any more nonsensical? 33. Monsters hunted. Kill every hostile mob. And yes, that includes the Wither, which I just so happened to forget, so he got killed last. And, yeah, that's it. I don't really have a joke here. I guess it's kind of funny that I had to manually spawn all the mobs for myself. Not really, though. Not even the only advancement I had to do this for, either. Kind of sad, really. 32. 2x2. Breed every breedable mob together. Oh yeah, here's the other one I had to meticulously do by hand. And don't even get me started on how many times I had to leave to see what I needed to breed these mobs together with. Like, what do you mean armadillos eat spider eyes? Like, who knows that off the top of their head? Also, I forgot that mules existed, so he was last too. 31. Revaulting. Open an ominous vault. And boom, more gambling. That's how we do it. Honestly, we can just end the video here. This is the best advancement, bar none. Wait, what do you mean the heavy core has a 6% drop rate? Okay, I guess that means it's back to the slots, baby. 30. Smithing with style. Apply the spire, snout, rib, ward, silence, vex, tide, and wayfinder trims to armor pieces. Wow, that's really cool. This advancement is stupid and I hate it. Like half of these are extremely rare and all you get is a really loud noise in your ear once it's all said and done. 29. Whatever floats your goat. Float in a boat with a goat. That's weird. I don't remember downloading the LeBron mod. Jokes aside, I do like silly advancements like this. I just wish they were, you know, useful so I could rank them higher, but alas. 28. Subspace bubble. Build a nether portal that takes you over 8,000 blocks in the overworld. Or just go 1,000 blocks in one direction in the nether, preferably through Elytra Flight, and build a portal, and this advancement is yours. All the cool kids are doing it. Trust me. 27. Hero of the village. Complete a raid. See, now we're getting somewhere. Raids are one of the most fun additions from modern Minecraft, and so going for this one is a good time. Though most people aren't actually going for the advancements, instead they're just going for the effect with, weirdly enough, the same name. What the hell, Mojang? Also they can, you guessed it, exploit the lower class. This is just like real life, so realistic. 26. Star Trader. Trade with a villager at world height limit. Don't ask how I got him up there. Just give me one of these and yep, you guys are free to go. And you can just leave them up there too. I'm sure they'll be fine. 25. Spooky scary skeletons. Obtain a wither skeleton head. Shivers down your spine included. Also, side note, I swear they nerfed wither skeleton spawn rate, but only when I'm going for skulls and never any other time. 24. Light as a rabbit. Use leather boots to stand on powdered snow. Isn't it kind of weird how half of these I haven't even really been talking about the advancement I'm mentioning? Like, who wrote this script? 23. With our powers combined, obtain all 3 frog lights. Yet another one I was too lazy to do in survival. Every time you have to lead a mob through the nether, they instantly become suicidal, and I'm just not dealing with that personally. 22. Bullseye. Hit the bullseye on a target block from 30 blocks away. I tried to do this legit at first, which made me realize that arrows are random and stupid, but also that's totally on the bullseye. What the heck? So I just used the cheese to get it. It's way easier anyway. There's literally no reason to do it the other way. 21. Sneak 100. Sneak around a skulk sensor. I also discovered that you can sneak around a warden to get this advancement as well, but I didn't do that here. I've had too many bad experiences in these cities, man, and I ain't risking it. 20. Withering Heights. Spawn the Wither. This one's just really good. I mean, it has proper difficulty while still being a fun challenge. Just make sure you don't stand too close to it while it's spawning in, especially when it starts blinking. 19. The Whole Pack. Tame every wolf variant. Yet again, Minecraft displays the benefits of animal entrapment. And, you know, magic, but that's neither here nor there. 18. A Furious Cocktail. Have every potion effect applied at once. See, this just does right what How Did We Get Here got wrong. All you need to do is spend about 2 lifetimes brewing potions, which sure is pretty boring, but then you get to do the fun part of throwing them all down. And boy does that feel good. And the icon even leads you to the very next item you'll want to have on hand after all is said and done. Much better. 17. A balanced diet. Eat every edible item in the game. Except for cake, don't waste your time with that, it's legally not considered a food. But a spider eye? Sure, why the heck not? And don't be confused by the footage. This one's gonna take a while, even for the most hungry of players. But I think it has just the right amount of difficulty to make it worth the time. 16. Adventuring time. Visit every biome in the overworld. What are you talking about? This is very real and unedited footage of me getting this advancement. Wait, no, you weren't supposed to see that. Yeah, this is the one that I couldn't be bothered to get, and honestly, it just thought it would be a bit funnier to do it this way anyway, so it works out in the end. Though this advancement is similar to a balanced diet in that, save for a few biomes, most of them you'll just stumble across randomly while playing normally, so it's never really something you have to keep on top of at all times. And it is just a little more fun to see all the biomes than just stand in one place holding right click. 15. Crafters crafting crafters. Crafter using a crafter. Crafter. I mostly put this one up here because it's funny and it really is that easy to entertain me. But I mean, it's more useful than meets the eye because it actually does a decent job at teaching players how to use crafters, so you can't say it's worthless. 14. 2 birds, 1 arrow. Kill 2 phantoms with 1 arrow. Startlingly difficult to get set up, but once you get that shot off, all the hard work feels worth it. Plus, yet again another advancement where you get to kill an annoying mob. I mean, you can't get much better than that. Well, you can, but we'll get back to that soon. 13. Beaconator. Activate a max level beacon. Don't worry about measuring out an area to make sure you have the right amount of blocks. Just wing it. I mean, hey, it worked out for me. Granted, I wasn't creative and therefore had unlimited blocks, but nah, who cares? Also, get this guy out of here. He's ruining the spotlight. 12. When the squad hops in the town, attach a lead to each frog variant. Note, you do not need to do them all at the same time, but it makes more sense here for the video, so shut up. But you know what? This advancement has charm, and I think that's the most important thing in making it really stand out. With all that being said, frogs are dumb, and that's why I did it in creative. Also, that was like kinda underwhelming, was it not? 11. Sniper duel. Shoot and kill a skeleton from 50 blocks away. Apparently, I was so slow that the skeleton despawned not once, but twice. And I did do this one legit, thank you very much. But it's actually ridiculous how much variance there is and where the arrows go. I mean, come on, I'm not even moving. But again, the final shot made it all worth it. But like, actually, can we tell Mojang to make this sound quieter? 10. Caves and cliffs. Fall from the world height limit to the bottom bedrock layer. Finally moving into the top 10, and this is a good one. Look, not every advancement has to have a purpose. Let's face it, most don't. So this one just serves as a fun little challenge to do and hope you don't mess it up and fall to your death. 9. Return to Cinder. Shoot a gas fireball back at it to kill it. Now this is what I'm talking about. Very creative idea being able to play ping pong with a gas. It's a pretty fun thing to do as long as there's not terrible terrain around you, and as far as difficulty goes, it's about as well balanced as an advancement can get. And it's a very helpful tip to know that you don't always need a bow to defeat these floating monstrosities. And hey, every gas killed leaves the world a better place overall, so I'm all for it. 8. It spreads. Kill a mob near a Skulk Catalyst. Pretty cool idea, though I'm not sure if it's difficult enough to warrant this amount of celebratory music. You really just need to get a bit lucky with having a cave that's not part of the deep dark nearby, which I managed to get here, and then just lure in a victim and you're golden. Still, it is pretty fun to watch the Skulk spread, so there's that. 7. Very, very frightening. Hit a villager with a channeling trident to turn it into a witch. This is the best use of a trident ever, hands down. And if you're lucky, you might randomly get the Surge Protector advancement for no reason. Fix your game! That being said, there's something about the sheer power you feel from striking down a villager with lightning from Zeus himself that you can't quite get anywhere else. 6. The healing power of friendship. Team up in a fight with an axolotl. This one was one of the best ones, but now I hate it because I realized how stupid axolotls are. And this isn't even a taste of how long it took me to finally get this one to work, and honestly, once I've done it, I'm never doing it again. I wish I left you in that cave, Timmy, you good-for-nothing rodent. 5. Arbalistic. Kill 5 unique mobs with a single crossbow shot. Also infuriatingly difficult to set up properly, but it definitely is fun to finally get the shot down. But I can't tell you how many times I failed just because one of the mobs lived. Good thing I did this in creative, otherwise I might have actually gone crazy. 4. Blowback. Kill a breeze with its own attack. Fun to do, but these guys are so slippery, and I left this one at too much health, so I had to deflect a lot of them before I finally got it. But similar to Return to Cinder, it's really fun to give these guys a taste of their own medicine because they are annoying. 3. Great view from up here. Float up 50 blocks with the levitation effect. Yeah, I did the cheese strat. I'm sorry, but it's just way too easy to not do it every time. But this is a pretty well-rounded advancement. And if you're wondering why it's at 8 on helpfulness, I put it that high because it forces the player to think of a creative way to save yourself from the threat of falling after a shulker attack, so I think it's warranted. 2. Overkill. Deal 50 hearts of damage or more with a mace. Yeah, I know, I didn't kill the warden here, but you're not perfect either, okay? But this is just about as good as it gets. It's a creative way to teach the player about the mace, and it even brings back an old advancement, so that's cool. And it's definitely super fun to pull off, and I think it's fairly difficult to do in survival. And finally, we have... 1. Who needs rockets? Blast yourself up 8 blocks with a wind shard. So this one comes with an embarrassing story. I was trying to do this in my actual world for so long, but no matter how long I tried, I just couldn't get up high enough. I even got so desperate that I ended up searching for a tutorial, even though I already know how to do it. And in the process of doing that, I found out that if you shoot one at your feet at the bottom of a river and just swim up, it works. Yeah, I didn't even expect that to work. So once I went to re-record the actual way of doing it in a creative world, I got it done so quickly. Want to know the reason why it was so hard before? Because I was wearing netherite armor, which gives you knockback resistance. Yeah, not my proudest moment. But that story aside, this is, in my eyes, the best advancement in the game, at least according to my, as we discovered, very flawed ranking system. But I do actually agree this time. It's a creative use of the item with a funny name poking fun at the Elytra rocket method. It's definitely fun if you aren't actively preventing yourself from doing it with netherite armor. And hey, the name even tells you why it's useful, because it can act as a replacement for rockets, kinda. I rest my case. And that's it. We're done. This video took forever to get done. Granted, I was definitely procrastinating with it, but between recording all the gameplay, writing the script, reading out the script, and editing it all together, I probably spent a good 50 or 60 hours on this over the span of the last month or so. And honestly, I'm proud I made it this far, because the idea for this video just came to me, I think, when I was in the shower, just thinking of ideas, and I was like, hey, I bet I could do that. And I did. So I hope all my hard work was worth it and you enjoyed the video. And if you did, consider subscribing. I mean, it's free. And I think I am going to start working on longer, more thought out and well edited videos on this channel instead of just random commentary videos. Because while these are a lot more difficult to get out consistently, I enjoy them more and I think they'll definitely do better. But if you do want more commentaries, I'll probably start uploading those on my second channel. So go subscribe to that if you want to keep seeing what you've been seeing here for the most part. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you want to see another high quality edited video, go check out the one where I raided trial chambers with no armor. It was a pretty fun challenge and it also took just as long to work on, so I'd appreciate it if it got more views. That video's underrated. And with all that being said, subscribe today to become one of the boys, and as always, keep being epic.